This call is being recorded.
This is Power and a Half Hour, episode 21, Bent but Not Broken. And the quote that we're going to start tonight with is, Adversity causes some men to break, others to break records. I want to repeat that. Adversity caused some men to break, others to break records. And that's William A. Ward. I want to thank everyone for listening. This is episode 21, so we're 21 weeks in. Phenomenal. Thank you. If you want to go back and re-listen to this call tomorrow, you can call in at 718-867-6700, or you can go to www.powerandahalfhour.com. And usually if you're on this call, you'll receive the text message reminders sending you the number and the links as well. I'm asking everyone, or those that may have questions, to go ahead and email them to me. My email address is powerandahalfhour@gmail.com. And what I'm going to do is the first 50 people that email me a question that I can use for one of my upcoming books, I promise that I will give you an autographed copy of my first book. It's going to be called Repeat After Me, and it'll be released sometime either later this month or the beginning of April. So the first 50 people that send me over a good question that I can use in my upcoming book, I will personally give you an autographed copy of my upcoming book, Repeat After Me. Now, if you guys are on Facebook, go ahead and add me as a friend. My name on Facebook is Mark Starr, MarkStarr, and you can join our Power and a Half Hour Facebook group. If you can't find it, just do a search for it, and if you can't find it, just send me a message, and I'll go ahead and add you to the group. Now, for those of you, I advocate reading every single week. And yesterday, we had a lady named Pearl had her book club meeting, and it was a phenomenal call. The book that we did last month was I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings, which is Maya Angelou's autobiography. And thanks to everyone that are on these calls that was on that call last night. We had a great time. And the book for next month is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I can tell you something about that book. That book has been accredited to the success of more millionaires than any other book. They've done studies, and they polled millionaires, and not each one of them, but more millionaires said that book helped them towards success more than any other book. So I highly suggest that you read that book. It's called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. I'm sure either Pearl or myself will put up an audio version and the e-version of the book in the Lady Named Pearl Book Club. And the last message before we get started is to join my daily message service, Be Better Daily. Text BBETTERDAILY to 411247. And every day you'll receive an inspirational or motivational message. It's a free service that I just do. I've been doing it for about a year and a half now, and it's free. So why not get it? So, hope you guys are ready. I just came back from Las Vegas. I took a red-eye flight last night and got back at 7 a.m. this morning just so I can get back in enough time to go ahead and prepare for this call and to be able to do this call with you guys today, right now. So there was a lesson that I learned coming back on the flight, though. Now, I've been afraid of heights all my life, and I used to be afraid of flying. Now, coming back, for some reason, the weather was real bad. We didn't leave Las Vegas till about 12 o'clock their time, which was probably about 3 or 4 o'clock Eastern time. And I think it was 3 o'clock Eastern time. And as the plane took off, it was really, really rocky. And normally I'm not afraid. I haven't been afraid to fly in quite a while now because I've been doing a lot of flying. But for some reason, I was just in my chair shaking last night because the plane was just rocking as it was taking off. It was a big 767. And it was just rocking back and forth last night. And I learned something about as the plane was taking off, and I would just kind of want to share with you what I learned. The beginning, anytime a plane takes off, it's usually always rocky. And during that time last night, for some reason, I just was quite afraid. I wanted to almost grab the lady's arm that was sitting next to me. And what I realized that the only thing that can get me from not being afraid was I had to visualize myself being at home. I had to visualize myself riding around 285 and driving to my home, getting into my bed, getting into the shower, taking a nice hot shower, and getting into my bed. And it's the same thing anytime that we're doing something, we're doing a new goal, or we're trying something out that seems a little scary in the beginning, we have to visualize the end. And that was the only thing that would calm me down. I tried everything else, and nothing would calm me down, and I almost had to take myself from being on that plane, and I had to just visualize myself being at home, taking that nice hot shower and being at home, right? So that's what we have to do. Anytime that we start out with anything that is scaring us a little bit, anytime we're starting out on a new business, a new goal, visualize the end and only focus on that. Now, as I visualize myself driving home, taking a shower, getting into my bed, I started to calm down a little bit and understand that the beginning is always rocky. Now, once you get in the air and that plane gets about 20 to 30,000 feet and you're cruising in the air, it's smooth sailing after that. Now, sometimes you're going to hit a little bit of turbulence, but if you've been flying long enough, you know that you don't stay in turbulence the whole way. You'll hit patches of turbulence, but everything will calm down after a while. So if you hit a patch of turbulence, you know that after a little while, the plane will smooth out. Now, once you get to when it's about to land, if you've landed a few times, you know that coming down sometimes it's gonna be a little bit rocky, but guess what? It's like you can see the finishing, and once you can see that finish line, then it doesn't matter, because when we were descending into Atlanta, that plane was just as rocky as when it was taking off. But guess what? It didn't bother me because I saw the ground, and I knew we weren't going to crash. I saw the ground, I saw the airport, I saw those lights, and I knew that I had made it. I just had to hold on tight for about 5 or 10 more minutes, and I would make it. That's just something that I observed last night or early this morning as I was coming in. And you know me, I always look for the lesson in everything, and I just figured out how I can apply that to my life. Now, we always start off with profiles, and the first person that I want to profile is a guy named Pete Pena. Now, like I said, this weekend I was in Las Vegas for this speaker seminar, and I really want to instill in you guys that you have to be able to, if you want more out of life, you have to become more. And do not be afraid to invest money in on yourself to take yourself to the next level. Like right now, I'm so astonished by my mom. She just spent a couple $100 a few months ago in developing more skills to help her with her business. And anytime I see anyone invest in themselves, that's a person that I would invest in as well. You can't expect other people to invest in you if you're not willing to invest either your time or your money into yourself. And here it is, my mom is 64 years old, and she's a phenomenal chef, a phenomenal baker, but she still is investing on herself to go to the next level. And this is something that she probably wouldn't have done 5 or 10 years ago, but just through talking with me and going back and forth with me and whatnot, she realized the importance of constantly investing in on herself to increase her skills so she becomes more valuable to the marketplace. So I was at this speakers conference this weekend, and it cost quite a bit of money, but you know what? Les Brown, the person that was giving the conference was somebody named Les Brown. Now, if you guys have never heard of Les Brown, I highly suggest that you go on YouTube and just do a search of Les Brown and listen to some of his speeches. He's one of the best motivational speakers in the world. And he told us this weekend that he makes $30,000 an hour for speaking domestically and $120,000 an hour. I said an hour for speaking internationally. And Les has been doing this for about 25 to 30 years. I'm sure he wasn't making that in the beginning, but that's the type of money that he makes. And what does he do? He helps people. He motivates them go to the next level. So if you have a story within you, and let me tell you a little bit about Les Brown. Les Brown failed two times. He failed in the fourth going into the fifth grade, And then he failed again in the 8th grade. He was labeled